All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Conspiracy Social Club, a.k.a. Deep Waters, a.k.a. Highway to the Danger Zone. Touchy subjects.
I forgot about
Yes,
touches.
guys, listen. Thank you for tuning in to the #1 debate show in the world. Listen,
right.
guys, we are putting out 2 new episodes every week. Episodes, video and audio at rockfin.com/conspiracy social club.
2 new episodes every week. Are you
Every
kidding?
week, hammer of gods.
Plus, you get old audio episodes anywhere you get your podcast.
Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you go, hey, dog, listen to me. I got to check this out before I invest in this thing. Listen to old episodes.
Yeah, and believe me, you'll invest.
You'll invest. Greatest
if you like
show
to
of all
laugh
time.
and fucking learn how right I am and how wrong Sam is.
5-star reviews. Give it to us. Love us. Help us get in that top 200 to show everybody what's real. Now, listen, you want to see us live? It's real easy. You want to find out where we're going, where we're going to be, where we're going to be dropping the hammer of the gods at? Just go to BryanCallen.com and SamTripoli.com.
And don't
wait,
be surprised.
there's more.
Yeah. We got merch and more about the show at aka deepwaters.com. You guys like wearing awesome shirts that say aka Deep Waters or whatever. I don't even know what the fuck the merch is. I do know I have one of the shirts and it looks great on my body.
Yeah.
If you want a shirt to look amazing on your body with sick cotton, the kind of cotton you can only find in a very tiny valley in Egypt, picked by the most beautiful women of all time, then then combed with ivory combs. Yeah, we had to kill elephants for it, but guess what? Worth it when it hits your body. And the stitching, you want to talk about stitching? We had to use very small children because they have tiny fingers. They do get bathroom breaks.
Yeah, so get shirts that we use hot chicks picking cotton, slaughtering elephants, and child labor. Go get it.
But they
now.
are fucking worth it. It's like dipping your torso into a warm fucking bath with some honey mixed in.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
And you want to come see me live? You come to Brea.
Okay.
Fucking Improv this
And
Thursday.
we gotta go. Okay. When people ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes.
Who and what is controlling everything and why? They practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. This realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell.
Chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. If Sam says the chicken and snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy. I'm winning.
You're losing.
Conspiracy Social Club, a.k.a. Deep Waters.
Sam.
Oh, shit.
Sam, couple things. Now I want to talk about some stuff. I want to talk about UFOs.
Yeah, I want to talk a lot of stuff. Like, what is that symbol on your sneakers?
Oh,
is that robot sneakers?
No, bro. This is a Swiss company, and my feet, I feel like I stepped into a warm bath. I feel like I'm walking on water. They're what I call my Christ sneakers.
Yeah, when people die, that's what they say the same feeling is on the other side.
Yeah.
A warm bath.
A warm bath?
Yeah.
Well, these pants are a little tight on me, but they feel good too. I remember I bought these, and they were a little gray, and I like the way they hug my thighs that I work so hard on keeping,
You dress like you clean chimneys.
I do?
Yeah, you have those pants look like chimney pants.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Look at
dude.
Look at this.
I thought this is a fucking room of freedom.
No, dude, this is a brilliant blue. Look at this.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, but when I sit like this,
You look like you're a chimney sweeper on a Hallmark movie. Like, you're blue collar, you got a job, but you're stunningly good looking.
Dude, I've watched a couple of Hallmark movies because I had to. My girlfriend's grandmother loves them, and they're the best looking people on the. They're all so ridiculously good looking.
Yeah, that's what it is, because it's for women. Women always say guys care about looks. Women care about looks. Big time.
100% they do.
Right?
And the dude's always some guy who's like, he's just a guy with a ripped pair of jeans and his shirt's open, and he's a fireman, but he's just a good guy with tousled hair.
You can tell a show where they're trying to reach both men and women and when they're just trying to reach women, right? When they're trying to do a show for men and women, the people tend to look more real, right?
100%.
Like Breaking Bad, right? That's definitely a show for guys that women enjoy too. Hallmark, everybody's smoking, good looking, right? That's for women.
Their skin is so clean and shiny,
right?
Including the men, their nails are really well done.
And their music's the same way. Like guys can be into like fucking like who is it? Like Dio. I mean like Biz Markie. Like these are unattractive human beings, right?
Yeah.
Right. Danzig, not a good looking guy.
I think Ariana Grande was made famous by women who want to look like her too.
Right?
Yeah.
But all the boy bands.
Yeah.
Right? All these boy bands that are just like singing and like you're like
super symmetrical.
Yeah, like everything is like.
Who's that guy? Who's the Harry Styles or whatever? This guy, like
Harry Styles.
Who is he in?
One Direction.
One Direction. He's talented, but he's also super.
Those are good. Like, dude. So
wears dresses, because he's just gender fluid. But he's not.
Dude, I just did a crazy show in Tinfoil Hat about the occult and music and how they're called lifetime actors, dude. And they just plug them into this shit, and they make guys like him take on issues and put him on. He's in a dress, and you're like, "Why are you in a dress?" He's like, "I just care." You're like, "What do you do?" I personally don't care. I really don't.
Why have dresses never caught on with men for real?
Because there's just nothing holding your balls.
But when I was in Indonesia, I wore a sarong, which men wear. It's basically you tie, basically like tying a piece of cloth.
That's a kilt, right?
I loved it, and it went all the way down to my ankles, and I looked awesome.
But for someone like you that obviously at any time could get in a street fight, that's great for you because it's easier for you to do high kicks, right?
And I always have to be able to do my high kicks. But I appreciate that because what you're assuming is that my low kicks aren't fucking the ultimate equalizer.
Yeah, I got that.
Because if I got to go low on you, I'll go low on you. And one of the things about me, they always say is, Bryan will go low on you, he'll go high on you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't, but I get it.
So the whole spectrum, bro.
Yeah.
Wear a helmet when you fight.
Yeah.
I hope you're wearing fucking shin guards.
Yeah.
Wear shin guards. How are you going to protect your knees? Wear knee guards. How are you going to protect the meat of your thigh when I fucking say it?
Yeah.
3 roundhouses or a fucking sliding sidekick, which you never see done.
Never.
The kid knows how to do a slide sidekick.
Bryan, you definitely look at yourself in the mirror like I feel like a lot of Van Damme poses are done in the mirror, right? A lot of Van Damme.
I do that, but I also was just thinking about when you were talking about how women and Hallmark and they care about looks, I was thinking about how when I was in my 30s and I'd show up at an audition in a suit with a little scruff. Now, I never got the part, but I was a cutie pie. And I noticed that I would get some female attention.
Of course.
That all went away somewhere along the line. Once you get
I think it changes, dude. I think it changes.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think, here's the thing, right? So I got a couple of things. First of all, why don't guys like dresses? Because society-wise, it's associated with femininity. And for a very long time, masculine men don't want it because that's a sign of weakness. Being feminine. So that's why it's never transferred into guy. I mean, we're seeing it more. And ultimately, I really don't give a shit. People really lose their skulls on stuff that isn't fucking trying to, doesn't affect you, right? Within the conspiracy community, there's this thing called the trans agenda. I don't believe in it. I don't think the only trans agenda is transhumanism, which is they're trying to find a way to get our souls into robots.
Vats. It might already be happening.
Well, dude, that's not good because we're all gods here, dog. I'm a god, Chin's a god, you're a god, and we're just here having human experiences, and being in the fucking robots traps us here into this fucking thing.
But I'm saying maybe already the real Sam is lying in a vat and having this experience.
What am I, that bad magician movie right now?
No, you might be in the Matrix. That's what the Matrix does. When you see Nemo, he's lying there, and you realize that the real Nemo is actually in this thing, and he's having this virtual experience. The more I think about that, and I guess theoretical mathematicians are making this conjecture based on statistics. I don't know how the fuck they do it. But it does make sense to me that this could all be within, I've talked about this 1,000 times, but I'm really starting to believe that somehow this is a computer simulation, because how do you explain anything? Like, how do you explain this insanity?
Well, for me, it's just like, there's just things that there's just too much detail for it to be random.
That's my opinion.
I agree with that.
You know,
I agree with that. Like,
and
yeah,
we've had a real push by atheists to get us to believe there is no God, because that's an occult thing. But the truth is, their God is scientism. That's what they believe in. But
no, their God is rationality and things you can measure.
Okay, yeah, that's
right?
called scientism. Anyway,
no, that's not. No,
some things never change.
It's not scientism though, because science. Remember, science is like starts with doubt and stays with doubt until you have a theory that proves my theory wrong. I'm going to believe in this, and we also know that certain science things work, right?
Well,
we know
this
camera's
is
working.
the belief that scientists and their research and their findings are fucking holier than thou, above reproach. That's what scientism, at least in today, where people quote scientists the way that people used to quote fucking preachers and fucking holy men. That's my point.
Well, good scientists will usually always be skeptics of their own conclusions, but for the most part, I think what you're saying, like for me, is like what I would say is that I think science is awesome and very important. However, it's not the end all and be all to answers, because there's shit you can't measure. There's phenomena that you can't, that maybe you don't even want to measure. Like just the fact that we have imaginations.
Do you believe in sports momentum?
Sports momentum?
Yeah.
I do.
How do you measure that?
You can't.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe somebody could though.
But it's a feel. And you feel it. And let's say you're in a fight, right? I mean, you're watching a fight, a UFC fight, and dude, momentum's on his side. You feel everyone in the arena feel.
Yeah.
I've been at UFC fights where you're like, the momentum has changed. How do you measure that?
My point is, though, you may be able to measure it according to a metric. Somebody might be able to do it eventually, just like they'll be able to measure like love. They'll be like, well, when you have a certain electromagnetic field in your body and certain chemicals, but okay, I get it. But like to me, it's a little bit like this, and follow me on this, because just because you can measure something doesn't mean you understand it and doesn't mean you can explain it. So like as an example, there was this philosopher who said, if you start being a reductionist, and it's all about science, you could take a piano and break it up into 7 pieces and throw it on the ground and point at it and say, that's a piano. It is a piano technically. You could break it up into all its parts and go, that's a piano. Those are the strings over there. That's a piano. Technically, I guess it's a piano. Then you could look at a piano and be like, well, that's a piano even when it's assembled, okay? But it might not even be a piano then, right? Because piano is only a piano when you know how to touch it properly.
Yes.
And it creates music.
Yes.
How do you measure that? And and so I'm with you on the fact that you better be very careful about trying to explain everything with measurement and everything in a reductionist manner. And by the way, the example I just used for a piano is it's a piano when it's touched properly. Human beings, you can break me down to my genome. You can break me down to my molecular level.
Yeah.
You can break me down to my biology.
Yeah.
You can tell me I'm a smart ape. All of that's true. All of it's true in its way, right? But it's only partially true. It doesn't teach you, it doesn't explain why this human being, under great circumstances, is capable of incredible beauty. And why did we create the Parthenon? Why did we create the works of Shakespeare? Why did we create the beautiful music of Mozart and Beethoven? Why do we create great comedy? You're up there making people laugh. Crushing. How do you measure that? Well, what is the point of that? And you've had sets that you've crushed and they just disappeared. They went away. You might even not remember any of the jokes, but that's a human being. To me, that's when I when I think of Sam Tripoli, I think of that.
Yeah.
I guess I could break it down.
Is it me just humping the stool?
If you showed me your genome, I'd be like, okay.
They call that the Mozart of comedy, when I'm just fucking getting a stool pregnant.
Getting on the fucking stool.
By the way, I've seen my daughter, sometimes she grabs it, she starts fucking, I'm like,
she might be a stand-up.
My girl will not allow her to be a comic. She says she's not being a comic.
Good luck.
I'm refused. I'm like, we'll see.
Comics like us, I'm a comic because I can't do anything else.
There was a dark time in my life where I was like, this is not going the way I thought it was going to go. I'm like, what else can I do? I've done jokes about that. Like, what do I become, a substitute teacher? I get kids start giving me shit. I just start heckle killing this guy. You know, he's crying like nonstop.
I just love your joke about it. I'm gonna keep doing this till karate starts paying the bills. Because you're right. Like, what else are you gonna do?
There's nothing else. So my whole thing, Bryan, is like, we have a disagreement. I believe there is, for over the history of mankind, a group of people that their whole job has been to they've just wanted to deceive us, because to make us think who we are isn't special. And the truth is, whatever this planet is, whatever it is very unique. And we're very unique. And there's been this movement to make us just break us down into analytics, you know, and numbers. And if it doesn't fit into that, it's not real. That is my honest belief about the laws of physics, that they were created to box us into something. And if it doesn't fall into those laws, it's not possible. And I don't believe that.
Well, the laws of physics were also there to explain certain phenomena that exist, whether you like it or not. Electricity, the movement of the planets, predicting the movement of the planets, by the way, or just the fact that you can get into a massive airplane and fly, bro. I mean, that there's physics involved in that, right?
Yeah,
the fact that you can use that
but there's
iPhone.
too many people who think if it doesn't fall into the laws of physics, it
I see what you're
doesn't
saying.
exist.
Yeah. So you're saying like things like intuition or things that you can't explain. That was what we were talking about. It's like there are things that you may never be able to explain. It's like, actually, if you think of Paul's letter to the Corinthians, I think it is in the New Testament. Paul was always saying, beware of trying to think your way out of the problem of life. So beware of relying on human knowledge and logic only, because you will twist yourself into knots. It's kind of was his argument for the idea of the belief in a higher power, right? Like, it's like, read Yuval Harari's book, Sapiens. He talks about how powerful story is, how powerful myth is, how powerful it is to believe. Just believing collectively can lead to things like money, the fact that all men are created equal. These ideas that are just, they're essentially myths, but they work. And because they work, they're more true than other shit.
It's basically
I'm
where
fucking deep, dude.
You are deep. We need a lifeguard here because the waters are very deep.
Fucking deep, aka deep waters.
For me, dude, people, the truth of the matter is there is no reality. There's only perception. And if people perceive something to be real, it becomes real. You know, it's like, let's take Satan, right? Lucifer is only mentioned one time in the Bible. And there's been now this whole thing that there's some guy with horns, in the bottom, torturing everybody. And now he's got a commercial on Match.com with the year 2020. Okay, so people believe that this dude is real. But so many people believe in him, he is real now. He's real.
Well,
he has a place in our society, right?
Yeah, you're touching on a really deep concept in philosophy. The idea being, is there knowledge before experience? Right? So what do you think of that? Like, in other words, so like a lot of philosophers, like John Locke said, everything comes from experience. All your knowledge comes from experience or someone else's experience that teaches you that, right? All human knowledge. But then Immanuel Kant and other people have said, and you might fall into this, that there's something called a priori knowledge, which is Latin for before experience. Like, there's certain things that you just know as a human being before anybody has taught you that. And it's more than instinct. It's something else. What do you think of that?
Oh, 100%, dude. Which, even though this isn't exactly what you're talking about, but I've been talking to a lot of people about after-death experiences, and in particular, past life regressions.
Yeah.
And a lot of people talk about past life regressions and how, like a big example is like, oh, this kid is 2 and he can play piano. Is he that smart?
Right.
Or has he gotten the skill from a past life and he's just tapped into it?
Yeah, that's like the guy, Josh Waitzkin, who was a chess prodigy as a kid. He said the first time he looked at a chessboard, it was familiar to him. It made sense. I'm sure guys like Gary Kasparov, as much as they know about chess and they worked at it, there's something about those people that when they looked at it, it's like Socrates said that it was because your soul was older. Like he took 2 slave boys. They'd never had any math. One kid got the answer because he helped him through it and another kid couldn't. And he said, I was able to ask it out of that kid because it existed in his soul already. This kid's still a young soul and he didn't have it in him. So even the Greeks talked about old and new souls, right?
For sure.
There are people who do have they have a predilection. They have an ability to look at a guitar and start playing. There's something about that, right?
So my whole theory is like, recently there was a worldwide meditation and people said that there was a scientific change, actual measurable change in the energy of the earth because so many people were meditating at one point, right? And whether you believe in that or not, the point is, let's say 3 million people around the world all meditated, right? And they believe it, right? And the Buddhists talk about how 1% of the population can change the entire group. 1%.
Well, to that, before you go on, Manny Pacquiao, when he fights in the Philippines, crime goes down. When Manny Pacquiao's fighting, crime goes way down. Think about one man who came from nothing and who just learned how to box. And if you said to him, dude, keep hitting that bag, bro, crime's going to go down when you fight someday.
I have a thought about that, but I don't want to lose my old thought. But why I love Filipinos.
I want to just get that to you.
Say, why do I remember why I love Filipinos?
But keep going.
Okay?
Keep going.
So this gets into something right now, and I don't want to go too deep into this subject because I don't want to be us debating it like that, because I'm really excited. We're going to talk some UFOs and some Bigfoots and cryptids and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, the whole debate is, what is Q, dude? Right? What does Q represent? What does Trump represent? Okay? I understand why people think either Q's just a bunch of crazies, or if you're a black pill cool guy, Q was created to pacify the right to allow Trump to maneuver. And the whole thing is like, trust the plan, trust the plan, trust the plan. And when you ask people, well, what hasn't Q been around, the big thing they'll talk about is trust the plan. Okay, that's one of the biggest ones. But my whole point is, like, someone done some kind of study on like how many Twitters and how many Instagrams mention Q and all that stuff, and they put the number at 60 million, right? 60 million. Like, how many people have to believe in something before it becomes true? Now, let's just say it is a psyop. Now, for me, it's like, if we take a look, I just did a really great discussion with a gentleman from England who discussed the Tavistock Institute, the CIA's fingerprints all over the feminist movement, the civil rights, and the FBI included, the FBI movement. So the whole thought is the hippie movement. So the whole thought is that these are manufactured movements. But my question becomes, at what point do these things take a life of their own and become real? Meaning that this movement, which was created out of these groups, become an actual movement, right? So, like, you could say whatever you want about Q. Oh, it's this and this. At what point does it get away from its handlers? At what point, even though this has a negative connotation, let's take a negative way out of it. What point does it become Frankenstein and the scientists who created it can no longer control it? That is my feeling about the internet, right? The internet was created out of CERN. It was a way to pass information quickly. Then powers that be thought this would be a great way for people. And then we've seen this giant, especially in the last 5
unforetold
years,
circumstances.
Or well, you could see it as negative, or I could see where people, when tinfoil hat first started, a gentleman came on and said the internet now allowed the masses to get the information of the elites that were hidden from us for so long. Or this awakening happens, right? At what point does something get away from them? And that's my point with Q. At what point do we get past Donald Trump? We get past Q, and we're like, this is about, the Constitution, saving children, and all that stuff. I don't want to get too much into that, but the whole point is, like, sometimes things start one way and then it gets away from and becomes a beautiful thing. Like, I think most people would be like, when you hear about women in a country can't drive or can't vote, that to me is ridiculous.
Right.
To be a human being in a world that you do not have the rights as another human being because of your genitalia.
Right.
You know, there's this whole movement that, you know, it's like the role of, like I said earlier, the trans agenda. This notion that trans are trying to put themselves in positions when I know so many trans who just want to live their life and not have to sell their ass on the street and have a regular job. We talked about this before, right? You know, I mean, when you hear about a trans person getting killed, like, you're like, what the fuck, man?
Right.
Let this person live.
Right.
Right? Like gay rights. And why shouldn't gay people be allowed to get married? If you think that's a thing about God,
it's a very new thing, isn't it? Though,
right?
It's a very new thing. It's like it just happened,
right?
Because people were threatened by it. Because people always think whenever you introduce something that's unconventional or that was considered in a manuscript to be a sin or whatever, it's a threat to their existence. Like, you heard a lot of people saying, if we allow gay marriage to happen, it will destroy the institution of marriage. So people are always they get afraid of
the
that
institution
shit.
of marriage?
Marriage.
Straight people.
Yeah, marriage.
They're destroying that shit.
Why do you like Filipino people?
So, did you guys ever see?
I was born there, so you know. You're welcome.
Did you guys ever see the HBO Netflix? I have my issues with Netflix. I think it's bad energy. But did you ever see the Happy Prison doc?
No.
About where they're famous. You remember you see the YouTube video where they allowed the prisoners to put on a big show for everybody, and they did Thriller?
No.
It was so awesome. And then they did a story on this prison and how they Filipino prison isn't about destroying you and crushing your spirits and crippling you. It's like, hey man, you made a mistake, you gotta come in here. But we're going to love you, and we're going to show you some love and you just watch the Filipino people. They're such proud, they're just fun people.
I'd like to go to the Philippines.
I bet you would.
Duterte, the president, is a bit of he doesn't fuck around.
Well, he's a crazy guy because he hates gays, and he openly admits that he used to do gay shit.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Duterte doesn't like gay people, and he says he used to do gay shit?
Yeah, he used to do some gay ass shit.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he admits to that. Anybody who persecutes gay people on that level, I would not be surprised. You'll always find that they hate a part of themselves because they've been banging guys.
Did I ever tell you the time I got robbed by the same hooker twice in one day?
No.
But I got robbed when I was in my disease. I got robbed by the same hooker twice in one day.
The same?
Yeah.
Hot?
No, I was trying to buy
weed or
drugs.
meth. What does she look like?
Sorry. I didn't do meth. I did
just
speed.
saying,
Shut up,
bro. You're a higher class.
What am I, a scumbag?
Addict. No, you're a higher class.
I'm a
addict.
classy guy. I work my ass. I did a little speed. I think there's a lot more people than you think on speed, but they're doing the clinical version.
They're doing Adderall.
Yeah, and they're like professionals, and they're getting it done. It helps me focus, and I have a crippling sex addiction.
Exactly.
Okay, go on.
Give me the fucking. Give me what such and such looked like first. I want to know what the prostitute looked like. Was it a guy?
I mean, it was questionable.
Okay.
It's questionable.
Right. Yeah. My friend said that. My friend had sex with a gal, and he goes, I think it was a dude. I say, why? He goes, because his hands and feet were huge. And
well, my whole thing is it wasn't about sex. It was about drugs, I was in sobriety, and I was getting itchy, and I wanted drugs, and I gotten rid of all the numbers in my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just driving around. I'm like, oh, that person looks like they got drugs.
Right.
Hey, you know where to get drugs? He's like, oh yeah, I know where to get drugs. And I'm like, she's like, I gotta just run in here. And then she grabbed her purse. I'm like, oh, this bitch ain't coming back.
Fuck.
Right? So she grabs her purse, goes in. I sit there for 45 minutes going, okay, what's going on? So I'm like, fuck, I got robbed by my mom. It was like $40. I was like, fuck, I got robbed. So I'm still driving around. I see her again. I go, nobody would do it to me twice, dude. They wouldn't do that twice. She probably feels bad about it. Got it. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, it's okay. Shit happens. Can you help me? He's like, oh yeah, gave it to her again. Fucking didn't hear from her again. I'm like, motherfucker. So it's interesting because near my studio, there was a memorial to somebody had passed, and I drove up, and it was the person had died.
Really?
Yeah, and
That's not going to end well a lot of times.
well, my whole point was, part of me was like, yeah, and then I was like, man, that really makes me sad, because that was a long time ago, and they were still doing that. And the amount of pain and suffering that lifestyle has, that they couldn't get out of that makes me really sad. And, it's like...
Well, they were probably junkies, so they were doing whatever they could to get there.
Yeah, but it's like, in LA, man, in LA, we really complain about what our politicians are doing about the homeless, and we never talk about how can we actually help the homeless. Like
what we can do.
What we can do and what they need.
To me, that's fine. It just seems so overwhelming. I drive by there. I don't even want to go in there. It just looks so fucked up. And I know, I hear you. I guess for me, it's like, I don't know what to do. I got enough problems. I got my kids.
Yeah, I get that. And that's kind of how it goes.
But I hear you, and I know what you're saying. I always wonder about that shit, man. I don't know. Just like, I guess I'd like to go in there and be like, soup kitchen and school and showers and drug. You know what? The Prophet Muhammad, who ushered in Islam. I think I'm right about this, but essentially, I think he drank, and then he said, alcohol is essentially bad, right? So in Saudi Arabia, there's no alcohol. There's none. And I always think about, like, people are like, fuck, man, I can't believe that. I really wonder, and this is a controversial thing to say, I just wonder is there any good that comes out of fucking alcohol and drugs at all? Like, I love wine. I'm going to have some tonight. It's a beautiful thing. But what if, I'm just saying, if the penalty if you were the emperor and you came to the United States and said, the penalty for drinking and for drugs is death. Now, people are like, what the fuck? But a generation from now, when nobody could drink and nobody could drug, okay? This is a really fucking utopian idea, but do you think we'd be better off? Do you think there'd be less broken up marriages, less neglected children, less death, less destruction, if that were the case? If there's no alcohol whatsoever in the equation or drugs, what would happen? What do you think of?
Well, we've already tried with alcohol, and it went
with prohibition
bad.
Right, yeah.
And my whole point to what goes on, and so The Rock, right, kind of effed up one time, and on his Instagram, he had basically said that he was in Saudi Arabia partying with the Saudi royals, and he made a line along like, hey, next time the vodka's on me.
Right, yeah.
And so my whole point is, like, it's rules for thee and not for me, and how many people actually follow that rule.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a really workable plan. I'm just saying, I always wonder. If
you outlaw it, people will do it.
Yeah,
they even see with drugs, man.
Of course.
When drugs are legal, people are like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like they say kids are doing less drugs.
That's why I said the penalty would have to be death, because the penalty would have to be so extreme. Like, so Lee Kuan Yew in the Philippines.
I don't even think that.
Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore, he realized that he wanted to make Singapore a modern country, right? And when he got there, it was a jungle. It was not a modern country. And not that it didn't have a great culture, but it was not developed as a country. So Lee Kuan Yew goes, fuck, I got a problem. He goes, I'm between Cambodia, Vietnam. I'm in this area, which is the golden triangle of heroin. You can grow all kinds of drugs, and they do. And there was a thriving drug trade, right? An opium trade and all that. So Lee Kuan Yew goes, okay, anybody caught bringing drugs into the Philippines, into Singapore, if you're caught trafficking drugs, you hang. No jury, just a judge, you hang. And they would hang consistently 6 people a year, including Americans and Canadian tourists, backpackers who just wouldn't listen, and they try to sneak a bunch of heroin in and shit, or out of the country, whatever. A mother from Kenya, a grandmother from Kenya, whatever it was, they'd hang. And it was awful and horrible, and they'd write letters. And they interviewed Lee Kuan Yew, and he said, they hang. And Charlie Rose said, I know, but with a jury? And he said, no jury, just a judge, they hang. And he goes, well, you've been criticized for that. He goes, yes, I have. And your country, how many families have been ruined by drugs? How many people have been killed and robbed? And he went through this list, how many children have been prostituted? And he went through the whole list. He goes, we lose 6 people a year. How many do you lose just to heroin, just to alcohol? And it was fucking, I was like, just to drunk driving. And I was like, this motherfucker's got a point. This motherfucker has a point. Now, he went a little extreme. I've been to Singapore. You weren't allowed to chew gum on the street.
Yeah.
He didn't let you wear bell bottoms. Couldn't really wear your hair long because they stopped and cut your hair. And you sure as fuck couldn't be homeless because it was unsightly and they take you and put you somewhere. So trade-offs, but the motherfucker had some shit to say. And Singapore, you could eat off the street. There was exactly zero crime. Exactly zero crime. And Singapore, in a very short period of time, with this quote-unquote benevolent dictator, became a modern powerhouse of a country. Still is.
I understand that, and I hear it. There's other places that have gone the exact opposite, and they legalized it all, and they saw a drop in crime.
Sure.
They
Portugal, Switzerland, you're right.
The question is,
You're right.
how much drugs does this guy do behind?
I say make everything legal, personally.
Tax ass. Imagine if you tax pussy, dude. Like you could go get some ass, throw a little tax on that. Every kid will get a limousine to school. We'll make so much money.
Give them benefits and all that, and let human beings make their own fucking choices. Just like with porn.
So my whole thing is like, how much great art has come out of Singapore? How much great talent has come out of Singapore?
Give me some of that.
You know?
When you can't tell the government to fuck themselves, when you can't tell your power structure to go fuck themselves,
also,
you pay a price in innovation. Fucking men. You know more than I ever give you credit for, Sam Tripoli. As crazy as you are with your conspiracies, and as much as I win all the time, you know your shit at the end of the day. You just hit it on the nose. There may not be a lot of crime in Saudi Arabia, may not be a lot of crime in Russia and Singapore. How much innovation, how much artistic expression?
How many Nobel Peace Prize winners have come out of Singapore?
You have to ask yourself
Same
these
thing,
questions.
like, dude, listen to me, man. I was watching UFC before I came over here, and this Chinese fighter, man, and he's a great fighter. I got in trouble with Joe Rogan when I was on Rogan before, because I told him, in my opinion, Asians tend to struggle in MMA, because I found it weird because they kind of are known as the forefathers of martial arts, right? Even jiu-jitsu, which is Brazilian, started in Japan, right? But I watch fighters, and the Asian fighters, sorry, Chin, tend to come in with shorter arms. And every time I go, oh, it's Asian fighter. Every time it's like he's got an 1.5 inch, 2-inch shorter reach, which makes it hard. And this guy did have a shorter reach. But man,
that's fair.
His fighting style never stopped moving his head. And this guy the guy he's fighting was a straight puncher, dude.
Yeah.
And like he couldn't get him. And dude, the guy punched and he dodged it, man, and came back with a cross. And the Chinese guy knocked out this Brazilian, and I was like, I remember going.
Look at Manny Pacquiao. I don't know how long Manny's arms are, but he'll knock you the fuck out.
So the guy had a Chinese flag, and I'm sure there are some Americans who are watching that going, fuck that. And I go, I've been to China a bunch of times. The Chinese people are fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
It's governments and it's power structures that are the problem.
Give me all the UFC champs right now, and give me the top 3 in every weight division. Because if you're black or you're of Latin descent, that seems to be the great fighters are like they always have Mexican or something in like in the UFC. Tony Ferguson.
Is it ethnic? Is it your genetics or is it where you're coming from?
Well, yeah, but no, of course it's all of that. But I don't know. It's Henry Cejudo, Tony Ferguson. You got some. But I mean, look at Brazil, Yoel Romero. That's like, Cuba. But let me see though.
Once in a while, you'll get a BJ Penn, right? Whose parents like owned a giant pineapple.
He's Hawaiian, and he's
pineapple.
He's rich, yeah.
Yeah, like once in a while, you get that guy that has it all.
He's got money. He comes from money.
Yeah,
oh, big time.
Really?
That's why his story was so unique, because he comes from money. He kept getting into fights, and he likes fighting.
Badass.
Yeah.
Go on.
You want the champs? So flyweight Davidson Figueiredo.
Okay.
You know him? Brazil.
But he's good, right?
Of Latin, Portuguese. Okay, go on.
I don't know his actual background.
African. He's got African. He's got European blood.
Oh, wow.
A mix.
There's Piotr Jan, bantamweight.
That's a badass Russian motherfucker.
That guy's badass, and that gets into Is it genetics?
Well, as
is
Rogan
it nature
says,
or nurture?
It's both. As Rogan says, Russia has different white people.
But it's like, yeah, they're
Now,
poor.
you can never say genetics because you're right. A lot of it's like, if you have to fight your way out of a
Tyson
bad
Fury?
situation, yeah, if you have to fight your way out of a bad situation, whatever race that is, they're going to do it, right? So, like, you can never use race and genetics. Genetics play a factor in certain sports. I mean, depending on what you're from. But I mean, if you're Samoan, you probably have a better chance. If Samoans have a child and I have a child, the Samoan is probably going to have a better chance at playing in the NFL than my kids, just because their bone structures and my kids are skinny. But you got to be careful with all this. Keep going.
That was so funny. That was a little disclaimer right there. Be careful with all
Yeah,
this.
you do.
My whole point is this, dude, is it comes down to hunger. And then at the highest levels, dude, like your athleticism is great until you get to the very top. And then it becomes discipline. In my humble, like you could say whatever you want.
Gamesmanship, discipline,
Floyd Mayweather,
ferocity,
dude,
all that shit.
That guy is like, he's faster than anybody, but he's disciplined. Like you hear Tyson talking about him, how like his crack is working out.
And also like believing you're a champion. A lot of dudes get to the big show and they crumble. It's also how you talk to yourself. What else?
Alexander Volkanovski.
Russian.
Yeah, he's fucking Polish or Russian.
I think New Zealand, but I don't know.
Yeah, but he's
He is New Zealand. And that guy's
but
a badass.
He's of Polish or some kind of a fucking,
Okay, and then I'm going to get into some stuff here. That I'll get into conspiratorial, and my opinion is that the UFC at the heaviest, bigger weights loves black champions. And this is Sam speaking, not Bryan speaking.
Yeah.
Because if you go to the ESPN, I talked about this on I have a new show, by the way, called The Greatest of All Time. And
so many shows.
I know the most shows.
dude, I can't turn it off.
Stick to this. I promise you.
It's going to be.
kill
Do
me.
I ever drag?
You're awesome.
Am I ever Michael Jordan?
you're awesome.
Fever,
Can't
where he
wait.
comes up and he's really hungover?
Can't wait to fucking smack down on all our shit. Wait, before you tell the story, keep fucking going on
All right.
this, guys. I
Khabib?
want to just do this.
Khabib?
Khabib. Yeah, that's Dagestan. That is
I don't even want. I'm so scared of that place.
they come from the stone. They come from the highlands. They're like Chechenis, or they're like the Azerbaijan. That area is rough.
Tough.
They're national sports fighting. Go on.
Kamaru Usman,
Usman,
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Thank you.
also Israel Adesanya.
Yeah,
Same.
Nigeria. Thank you.
Jan Blachowicz, Poland.
But dude, this is deep.
Stipe Miocic, who is, they said Croatia, right?
Croatia.
The most
Seems very-
disrespected guy in the UFC, and I don't care what they say,
I
dude.
agree.
You go to ESPN, like I was saying, they listed who they think is going to be top 10 in 2001. 3 chicks, and much respect to Amanda Nunes. She doesn't get respect as the greatest combat sports female fighter of all time.
100%.
But this guy, Stipe, he's not even on the list, dude. This guy's who I lead. Sterling, Aljamain Sterling, who's from the 607. I have a tattooed on my leg. Me, John Jones, Sterling, fighters. Okay?
Fuck yeah.
Fighters, dude.
Fuck yeah.
So I respect him. But how is he on there? With all due and loving respect, I saw him do stand-up at Adam Hunter's show. All due respect. And this guy, Stipe Miocic, who's defended the belt more than anybody in UFC history.
Killer.
So when he was about to fight...
He's fighting Ngannou, too. He's fighting Ngannou next.
The UFC acted like Ngannou had already won. They gave him no fucking buzz,
I know.
no press. And dude, it's like, this is what happens when you get to
Because
that
they can't
level.
market him. I guess they don't feel like he's as marketable as some people. Adesanya is such a marketing...
No, because like we live in a fucking world where like big black guys are like, whoa, oh, that's crazy. Nobody's afraid of the big white guy. And dude, don't even get me started. It's all this programming bullshit. And I love Ngannou. This is nothing against him, man. I love watching him fight. But that dude got into a ring with a dude that wasn't afraid of his power.
That's right.
And when that wasn't working,
Just wrestled
he got knocked out. And I don't see how this goes I mean, he could clip him just like Daniel Cormier did and got Stipe, but I don't see how this goes any other way than the first fight, and Stipe gets his hand raised again, which sucks for Ngannou because then it goes, what do you do with that guy?
Right.
And it sucks because the UFC...
Ngannou hopefully is working on nothing but wrestling. I don't know what his camp is like. He's such a freak athlete and he's got that crazy power, but I don't think he's the fighter Stipe is. Certainly not the wrestler Stipe is. So we'll see.
Stipe gets no respect, bro.
I love that
none.
guy.
And it's just like, I love him. He's Cleveland. Was a firefighter.
Blue collar firefighter. What a
Dude,
badass.
do you like gigging in Cleveland?
I love Cleveland. I love
Cleveland.
hilarious.
It's the most. I have to convince people from Cleveland how great their city is. And they're like, yeah, it is great. I'm like, stop talking about your losers.
The owner's awesome. I just love everything about that place.
The women back in the day, dude.
Gorgeous.
Fat bottom girls, bro. Halls to rock and roll.
Cleveland got something to say.
Well, Cleveland got disrespected because
The river caught fire.
Well, no, dude, but they had the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there, but they would do the ceremonies in New York City, and Cleveland's like, fuck you, do the things here. Dude, I love Cleveland.
Cleveland was where some of the richest people in the world lived back in the 20s and 30s.
You know where else it is? Minneapolis. Do you know Minneapolis has more corporate headquarters than a lot of cities?
It's a great town. I've spent a lot of time in Minneapolis, a lot.
A lot of chicks put out there, bro.
What?
I
didn't know that.
So what was I talking about, dude? I was crushing.
Well, we could start talking about
UFOs.
I'll talk about UFOs all day. I'll talk about. I do think it's interesting.
Can you hold a second? Can you start while we get Bryan going on his rants? Can you look up Trump declassifies UFO because he's been a giant CIA dump of UFO documents. Now, full disclosure, because I hear Eddie Bravo yelling at me. Have you heard of Project Bluebeam?
No.
You've never heard of Project Bluebeam?
No, but tell me what it is, Sam. And before we get into it, I would like to know.
Am I twitchy today? I took my vitamins and I forgot I was doing the show.
I'm twitchy.
I don't do vitamins before the show.
I'm always
because then I got to hear about how much speed I'm on.
No, you're good. But let me ask you this, Sam. What is your a gun to your head? Have UFOs or extraterrestrials touched Earth, communicated with us, and is the government, as in CIA, etc., keeping it a secret? Is it keeping it a secret?
How many episodes is this?
Is that what you believe? Is that what you believe? Just tell me.
28 fucking episodes I've done with this guy, and he's still doing
dude,
air
hold on.
quotes.
Hold on.
What, are you going to fart on me? Ooh, I love this.
We don't have coffee yet.
That's fine. And we need a coffee
waters.
machine here, dude. Yes. Deep waters. That's
There's
great.
a coffee machine. They have one in the kitchen.
That's great, dude. These are great mugs, man. I'm going to put it right there. So you asked me if I believe aliens exist.
Yeah, well, not that aliens exist. Do you believe they've made contact, let's just say, with the United States, and is it being kept a secret from us?
This guy is just like unbelievable. By the way, Chin, I know that you were called in at last second, right? Did you at all get a chance to look at the wins and losses from last week?
I didn't.
Okay,
No.
fuck. Because I was ready. Because I mean,
No, we didn't really have enough of a debate. I wanted.
no. I looked at some of the commentary early. It was a bloodbath for you. It was a bloodbath. It was a bloodbath.
We don't have a screen yet in, in our new studio.
If you're asking me the government, like you say, the answer is 100% yes. And they are
100%.
hiding it from us.
Why would they hide it? Who's hiding it?
Because for a couple reasons. One, the aliens didn't think we were ready.
The aliens didn't. So they told the Earthlings not to tell us.
And two, governments use religion to control us.
I see. And so if we knew that extraterrestrials existed, it would destroy belief in religion.
Some. But see, what I believe, Bryan, I'd love to hear what you believe, and then I could just discard that.
Well,
go on.
I think that I do believe that there's got to be extraterrestrial life.
Okay.
I like that the Israeli Air Force guy said that he saw one. I like that there was evidence of an actual UFO of some kind, unidentified flying object that we did pick up on our instrumentation.
Yeah.
I know that Navy pilots have seen shit they can't explain, which means fuck all.
I love when you roll your eyes.
Which means fuck all. But the idea that extraterrestrials in flying saucers or whatever their craft is, and Bob Lazar was looking at all these awesome things, could have been drones, but they weren't because they were unexplained technology. The idea that extraterrestrials have given us certain technology and that people in the CIA, etc., are keeping us thinking like that from the people because we're not ready for it. Sounds, what's the word? Rather far-fetched.
Brian.
Rather far-fetched.
How old are you?
And why would the extraterrestrials only show themselves to the CIA?
It's not CIA.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who is it?
Eisenhower.
Oh,
Every president's
he's dead.
been lectured on it. Eisenhower
Every president's
basically
been
made a
lectured
deal
on-
with them that they couldn't.
With who?
With the aliens.
And the aliens are honoring a deal? Why the fuck would the aliens care about
Because
Eisenhower?
this is a very special place.
So the aliens have decided that they're gonna talk to our leaders and be like, "Listen, guys, we exist."
Brian, I just want you to know something.
Yeah.
When you pass on and you meet at breakfast the chicken snake god and he tells you why you're coming back as the chick who blows donkeys at the donkey show, he's going to run just every highlight from this show where you disrespected the fucking universe we live in.
When I go bet on Bob Lazar, I get people going, "You piece of shit! You don't know shit about Bob Lazar. You fuck!" I'm like,
I think Bob Lazar was shown that stuff so he would go tell everybody.
well, I think Bob Lazar saw shit. I've talked to Rogan about it in depth. I think he saw things he couldn't explain. That doesn't mean that the U.S. government doesn't have awesome technologies like drones back then that would have been like, oh shit.
What are you become possessed by Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yeah, like that.
Do you know Sammy Davis Jr. worshipped Satan?
I know he had a glass eye.
No, he worshipped Satan.
You know,
He did worship Satan.
Who worships Satan?
Dude, Sammy Davis Jr. straight up told Eddie Murphy he worshipped Satan.
I don't believe that. He was joking because he was probably joking. Like the guy worshipped
He was
the
a
devil.
Satan worshiper.
How do you do that? Do you have a devil that you then bow down to and say, "Satan, I will now kill everyone for you. I will do cruel acts."
You're crazy. What, girl? Don't go there. That's our moment right there.
Well, what would a Satanist describe a Satanist? What would I have to do to be a Satanist? Describe like you catch me doing something. What would you have to catch me doing?
Bro, is you believe in a certain thing that allows you to join a certain club, which allows you to have certain opportunities
Powers?
come available to you.
Okay. Why do you think, what is your evidence, besides a YouTube video, for UFOs existing? Why do you believe, besides the fact that you want to believe so badly, why do you believe that?
So, Brian, hold on.
Why do you believe that?
Let me stop
And
this.
what do these aliens
Let me
look
stop
like?
this. You are saying right now you don't believe in UFOs. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that I don't believe.
Because that is even deeper conspiracy.
I don't believe that there is a,
Because the average person believes in aliens. The
Yeah.
average person, when they've been bombarded, even my kids who are almost turning 1 will turn a little Sesame Street because, we just need a moment to do. And dude, they're getting bombarded with fucking aliens.
I believe that the extraterrestrial life would probably exist in this massive planet of ours or this massive universe of ours, whatever this universe is. And I believe that we're going to explore further and further round planets like Mars. But I don't think that there is a government agency that has privy information on extraterrestrials that they haven't shared or that we don't know about. And because I don't know what
Brian,
the profit
you're
would be.
literally making this comment after giant declassification of CIA.
Where is it? Chin?
Read it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what it says.
Yeah. But by the way, if you're quiet, you could actually heard Brian going, "Oh, there's actually something."
Is
You
this
could
on-
actually see
where are we
that.
getting this information? Google?
Oh,
Sam doesn't
sorry,
trust
Brian.
Google.
Brian, it's on People Magazine. Would you
Send
like
it-
to
Ah, People.
Magazine, TMZ?
Fuck.
Where would you like to? Brian, real quick, what are the so we could all laugh? Hey, dude, can you do me a favor? when you edit this together, when he lists these, can you put a laugh track behind it real quick so we can hear it? So Bryan, real quick.
So fucked up. You should get a laugh machine. You should get a fucking laugh machine,
Oh,
dude.
where's my thing, dude?
I'll
download a sound effect thing.
Just
when we do
download a
this in
sound
the future.
effect. That'd be funny.
Oh, it's so fucking
Okay, now
funny,
wait.
dude.
So this
keep
is
going. Keep
all right,
going. I want to
yeah.
hear it.
All right.
I want to hear it. Go
ahead,
on.
go ahead.
What are your respected news outlets?
Well, my respected news outlets are. I trust Google. If I Google something,
You just literally mocked me.
no,
with
you're the
Google,
one who
and now
doesn't.
You're like,
the one who
"That's my
doesn't.
trust."
But he's looking up something I believe that is probably true. So tell me what it is.
All right, so the headline says the CIA has just declassified all their files on UFOs, and the way that it's linked with Trump's is it says the CIA has made public all their documentation and records of UFOs ahead of the government's official report coming in less than 6 months. The massive document dump came after U.S. President Donald Trump.
You stop for a second.
Yeah.
Do you know why they just said 6 months? Because in this last relief bill, in it stated that the U.S. government, all the senators voted and agreed upon, the U.S. government must declass all of their documents and information on aliens and UFOs.
I think that's a good law. I'm totally in favor of that. Why would you keep that a secret? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe there is some secrets here. All right, go on. Maybe
Right. There's a reason why this bell isn't here and only
hold on.
painted.
Hold on. I have it. Where the fuck is it?
Guys, while Bryan's buying time to figure out his next ridiculous point, guys, check out my new podcast. It's called Cash Daddies, and it is an investment show. Do you invest, Chin?
No, I didn't listen yet. I got to do it. Your Bitcoin stuff, I still haven't done it.
Okay, go check it out. It's called Cash Daddies. I will be in Good Night. I will be at Good Nights in North Carolina, February 18th through the 20th. I'm back on the road. Finally.
Damn. I don't know where that bell is. I have a sick
unbelievable.
bell.
That's
I have
unbelievable.
an amazing bell. All right, wait.
I can't believe it.
So, wait. Hold on, you fuck.
Uh-oh. Oh, that sounds like a bell.
God, there is a bell.
Hanging that motherfucker. How much I spent on that? It's so much money. It's a Japanese cast iron bell.
Oh, that's so nice.
Isn't that nice?
The best part about this is it's so nice, you don't even want to ring it, so you can only ring it when it really matters.
That's true. And because it's loud. So now you see how we got a new studio, we got a fucking bell. This is just taking time.
Did you?
Oh, let's thank our Patreon people. You motherfuckers are awesome. And I
Even though they don't think you know what you're talking about, right?
I love you guys, and we're only gonna just keep putting out more content that you can't get anywhere else. So thank you.
Bryan, I love you so much. I love that you basically created this entire studio to match that bell. And that's what I love about it.
Right. Sam, do you think we should do this podcast where you're sitting on the couch and I should be sitting there? What do you think?
Like you're my therapist?
Yes.
That might be funny.
That might be good. I wonder. We'll try it.
Why? Why do you think that?
We have the pillow over there, the deep waters pillow. We'll
We have
talk.
a deep waters pillow too.
Yeah. So
Oh, you guys don't even see all this action over here. Cool couch,
selling
cool
merch.
things. Bryan put a glory hole in the corner in case you want to get sucked off in between the show.
goddamn right.
I just think of all. There's a great James Painter joke about glory holes. He goes, "I just think about all the hot chicks on the other side." So
Wait. So what were we talking about?
we're talking about the D class,
Yeah. Let me hear this now.
and that you were agreeing that Daddy was winning.
Hold on. We're gonna be.
That is too special, by the way.
That's great, right?
This is the best thing I've ever
Come on,
seen.
dude. I'm on
You
it.
don't hang it over me. It's so heavy. There's no way
No.
that
We're gonna find a way to hang it. I got a guy coming in.
that's made of Callen bone right there.
Oh, yeah.
Very flimsy,
Yeah.
easily broken.
No, those are my shin bones.
You have a little arm that sticks out from that.
Yeah, you should have it stick out a little bit.
That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do.
Finish it?
Yeah, it's
So-
too nice, Bryan. That's so nice.
Beautiful.
It says the massive document dump came after U.S. President Donald Trump signed a $32 trillion coronavirus relief and the government funding bill into law in December, which kicked off a 180-day countdown for U.S. intelligence agencies to inform Congress what they know about UFOs.
So what do they know about UFOs?
Here we go.
We don't know yet.
Well, you know, the CIA put out that they believe we live in a hologram. You know that, right?
In a hologram.
That's not the CIA. That's actually all that stuff is coming out of like the physics departments and
Of the CIA.
No, universities and stuff that are funded by
Will
various.
you look up,
government
did the CIA say we live in a hologram? Please, God.
the hologram.
So much fun, dude.
We might though. This might be a simulation. I'm totally a fan
It
of the whole
is.
theory.
Buddhists talk about it.
That's why this whole talk about UFOs might be moot.
No,
Does it
it's
exist
not,
in a
dude.
computer? Maybe.
It's a realm.
Yeah, another dimension.
And and these aliens aren't from other planets.
They're from right here.
They're from other dimensions.
That I like. That's
They're
string theory.
dimensional. Because this place is very special.
Yeah.
You don't realize you're a god, Bryan Callen. You're a fucking god.
Really?
You're having a human moment.
I like that idea.
And everything
a lot.
that's ever happened to you is happening for a reason because you're here to experience it
That's comforting.
and learn from it.
That's comforting.
And that's why you're going to come back and blow fucking donkeys in the next
no,
lifetime.
I don't want to.
Because you're fucking retarded.
No, don't make me blow donkeys. Let me come up with something better.
Do you want to hear this real
Yeah.
quick? According to the CIA, the world that people live in is an energy hologram simulation, and astral projection is real. In a document called Analysis and Assessment of Gateway Process under sections Holograms, the study says.
Dude,
God
they
damn it.
just said,
Sam, go ahead.
dude,
I'll
did
just
you hear
hold
what
it
he
up.
said? Astral projection. That's crazy.
Astro projection. What does that mean?
Is that when you can fly?
I don't know. You can manifest in different dimensions.
Can you look up what astral projection means? Because I mean, that means a motherfucker can fly.
That sounds fucking badass.
Dude, listen to me, trust me. If you come to my side,
Yeah.
the world is so much more interesting and fun and uplifting.
I know, but I just like to be evidence based, and I like to live in a world of like that I can
Denial?
use. I can't just like believe in shit because, I mean, then again, my friend said you have to adopt a belief system in religion, right? So a lot of religion is faith, and
That's all faith
I
is.
have trouble with
Faith is belief without evidence.
it. Yeah, I have.
And there's so much in life is faith.
Yeah,
And it just works out.
or it doesn't. Because if you believe in people, we know a lot of people that well, just manifest it. Oh, okay, dude. Good luck.
Well,
with
I mean,
that.
if you're like, I want to be president in 2 weeks, that's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Okay, so the greatest example, there's actually a TED Talk on this about how Super Mario is life. And it's like, if you really study Super Mario and his journey from Donkey Kong to Super Mario Kart, it really is life.
Really, what do you mean?
Super Mario starts out in Donkey Kong, right?
Right.
And he's just a guy trying to stop his girl from getting cucked. Now, if that was Bryan, he'd just sit in the corner and go, "Oh, don't get her pregnant," because that's what Bryan does.
Or and let me raise the kids because you have a better body than me and you look athletic.
I love you, dude.
Come on, dude.
Dude, this show, there are no secrets.
There's no fucking secrets.
He's a cock. I got bought drugs from a trans hooker. We're just who we are, dude.
That's what's great about podcasting and being a comic. You can just be honest.
Listen, the more
with
you-
who the fuck you are.
Yeah, dude. I mean, my listeners are like, we know you're a weirdo. I'm like, okay, dude. I am who I am. But I put out
bless.
2 gorgeous kids who are going to save us from the fucking robots.
I am
that
what I
come
am.
from the future.
Yeah.
By the way, my daughter's Ghost Ninja will kill all the Terminators when they come. Trust me on that.
Ghost and Ninja.
I know, such cool names.
Yeah. So what was I talking about?
You want the astral?
Okay, go on. Then I'll
What
tell
is
you my
astral?
Super Mario thing.
Astral projection is a term used in esotericism to describe an intentional out-of-body experience that assumes the existence of a soul or consciousness called an astral body that is separate from physical body and capable of traveling outside it throughout the
Dude!
universe.
Dude, that is huge. Why did you act like you didn't know? You told me on the show you've astral projected before. Bryan, I think you're playing a game.
Maybe I work for this.
Maybe you're here just to kneecap me in life.
Maybe that's what I do.
Maybe I
work-
am a fucking shape-shifting fucking starseed here and somebody sent a Terminator here to kneecap me.
Yeah.
You said you astroplaned before.
Maybe I fucking work for the deep state.
That sound clip is gonna haunt you. So listen to me, bro. Listen to me. Yeah, so it's very simple. It's a very special place we live. So Super Mario, he's this guy, he's in this video game. He's just trying to stop his blonde girl from getting cucked by Donkey Kong, right? So he has a job. He does his job. His job is to jump over barrels, smash barrels, climb things. Well, he does his job so well, he gets promoted. And next thing you know, now he's in Super Mario.
Right.
And now he's got a new job, which is to get to the end. But somewhere along the way, he becomes enlightened. When he eats the mushroom and he gets superpowers and he starts eating shrooms, which is the story of man. Man eats mushrooms, suddenly starts seeing the bigger picture, and out of nowhere, what happens to Super Mario? He goes to Super Mario Kart, and now it's a 3D world. He can drive all over the place. It's a fucking crazier fucking world. There's more experiences, more people, more everything. That's the evolution, brother.
That's cool.
When you evolve to where I am, and I am up here, you're a knuckle dragger, okay? When you do that,
hold on.
it's a beautiful
I don't like
world.
the way. Well, I've been offered plant medicine on a heavy and real level, and I might go down that rabbit hole just for the
Dude,
fuck
I
of it.
would love for you, because I am going to go at least a year with nothing, and then
Then we'll go psychedelic.
ayahuasca is a possibility. If anyone from any of my meetings see this, I'm not saying I'm doing it. I'm just saying everything.
Ayahuasca, I feel like doesn't violate your vows, does it?
Doesn't. I think
I mean, but why would fucking psychedelics are a different thing than opiates and uppers and stimulants, right? I mean, psychedelics are they are not addictive. They just expand the mind. Or
well,
they
you know,
tap
it's
into
like
parts.
then like what is weed though? You know.
Weed's medication.
Yeah, but
Like
people listen.
THC,
I was
THC
telling.
has
I
a
was telling.
physiological effect on you, right?
I think people who smoke too much weed start to go into manic depressants or bipolar. Like they could be super happy 1 second, and then the little thing, boom, they just turn, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I think weed has THC has its effect on different brains, like everything else. Some people do really well on it. I personally do not. Personally, I am a complete zombie on weed. I've tried it all, but I might go to MedMen or something and get like I'm gonna go ask them what kind of edibles I can try. I'm curious. I want to see what it does to me. But then again, I don't want to be medicated. I want
Bryan,
to feel
you're not
everything.
medicated when you do mushrooms, and I think
mushrooms
it would
are
be
special.
the best thing for you.
I've
ever.
done mushrooms many
Because
I
you're
love-
gonna do it.
Not many times.
You're gonna come real in touch with who you are. The universe is gonna talk to you, and you're never gonna worry about shit again. That happened to me, dude.
Really?
I did shrooms, and I literally heard her voice going, "You're exactly where you need to be."
Yeah, I believe that. My friend who's religious said that. He goes, "Just give it up to faith, dude." And I was like, "Yeah, that's nobody finds God when they're comfortable, when everything's amazing and everybody's cheering for them."
Yeah, but you know what, dude? I was thinking about that, right? Like, because that's the whole thing about pro athletes, right? In their heyday, they're just running and gunning. They're stacking chicks, hitting holes, playing Price Right Punch Out,
Stacking
on
chicks
fucking
and hitting holes.
right? And then when it's the playing day's over, suddenly they find God. But it also correlates to this point where it's like you've had all that stuff and you realize it just leads to misery. And then you like, oh man, whatever your spirituality is, whether it's Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and all those are just offshoots of Hinduism, okay? You just realize, oh man, there's something bigger out there, and I get this, like, dude, I get a high when I help somebody. I get high off of, at this point in my life, of not doing drugs. I'm actually addicted now to not doing drugs. It's like, wow, man, waking up in the morning, but like helping people.
Yeah.
Helping people.
Well, I think when you chase only a sensation, which is all that shit, right? So status, money, power. It's why the Buddha said, money and power and status, let go of all that, right? Let go of the idea of the self. Let go of, be as able to experience pain and suffering as you do, pleasure and success. And I think that the thing about chasing any kind of sensation, sex, great food and all that, it's really interesting that most of the great sages, the shamans, the great holy men, the great prophets said, all that shit's an illusion. Stay away from it, right? Because it's true. If you follow only sensation, if you think about it, it's all physical sensation. If you follow that shit, it just is going to end at the end. It's going to end, and you will get saturated, and you will get bored, and you will probably have spiritual malaise of some kind, spiritual ennui, like this notion of like, I have no spiritual life in my life. And you see it. And what they do is they cut their faces up and try to stay young. They buy more shit.
Yeah.
That is
Listen,
really,
dude,
that is the story.
You can be
That's
depressed.
the story.
Yeah, depression is the same if it's in your studio apartment in Buckingham Palace.
I've seen the richest
at the
people in
fucking
the world.
VIP room at the
Correct.
strip bar.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Dude.
I've never helped
ever tell
people.
you-
I've never been depressed.
Did I ever
Did you
tell
ever do the Laugh Factory's Christmas thing?
Yes.
Were you ever sad then?
No.
When you were helping people?
No, never. Did I ever tell you like when the only time I had a panic attack, it was one other time, but I got everything. I got a TV show. Like I got a TV show. Like I'd been, in LA trying my arts, and I got this big show, and it meant I was making $35,000 an episode, which is a fucking lot of money, but it was a lot of money in 2000, and especially when
It's a lot of money,
especially when
anything.
you're making no money. And it was going to be it was placed in a play at the time when it was going to be a huge, like it was going to be.
What
like,
was it called? Cops
it was
Rock?
called Inside Schwartz, and it was going to be it was between Will and Grace and Friends, and it was all the rage. When I got it, it was all big news. It was fucking big news, and people are calling me like, dude, I can't believe it, because all the actors knew. It was like a big thing. When it got picked up and I got it was like, holy fuck. And I remember I pulled my car over because I had gotten almost like everything, like I'd achieved this thing that I was after, I thought. And it was the weirdest experience because I pulled my car over and I was like, oh, wait, this is it? Wait, this is it? This is what I've been trying to climb the wall for? I feel exactly the same. Like I feel the same. And I thought that celebrity, which I was hoping would come with it, and money, and being able to eat out, and just all the shit that I thought was, I went, oh no, I feel exactly the same. And I remember I pulled up the PCH and I had to pull over because I was having a panic attack, because I was like, I'm still having to deal with who I am. And I still have the same hole in my fucking soul and my person that I had when I was going for it. And I thought when I got it, the hole would be filled up. But it wasn't. Like it was all still there.
I think that's amazing.
Dude, it was fucking
That's
nuts.
an amazing moment right there.
It is an amazing moment. It was amazing because I went and I told you, like when I was 50, I think it was 51, where I got everything I ever wanted when I came to this
Was
town.
that 10 years ago?
It was 10 years ago. And I drew a line through everything. It's not what there's what you want, and then there's what you need.
That's it, dude.
And there was and once you have those experiences, but you got to fail. You got to be older, like we are.
You just got to let it go, man. I mean, like, because it's just like,
Still
I
in trouble.
remember somebody who's very huge right now telling me, all I want to do is tour. And then he got to tour, was enough. Now he wants to be in movies now. And it's just, the goalpost changes. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with like, hey, dude, that'd be great if I did that and actually working on it. But it's like, the real shit is like, dude, how am I helping others? That is it.
That's
It
true.
is everything.
That's true.
It is the only thing.
That's true. 100%. At least I agree with you on there.
Yeah.
Even though I won the
Hey,
UFO
hey.
debate.
Ring the bell.
I'm going to ring it, but wait. No, I'm not going to ring it yet because I
Ring the
haven't
bell.
earned it.
Dude, this isn't going to happen.
Would you
a lot.
say,
Ring the bell.
will you give me one? I want just one. I'm going to let you ring the bell. And if you don't give me one, I'm going to ring it for myself. Will you
ring it.
give me one shred of evidence for me to hold on to that UFOs exist? Just one. I'm waiting. Go. Ready? Hold on. Ready? Ready? Hold on. Ready?
Hold on.
Ready? Go.
Dude, your secret CIA buddies.
It just means they're dumping a bunch of bullshit. But wait, Sam.
Hold on. No,
Sam,
no, no,
ready?
no.
Go.
You don't believe CIA? You don't believe aliens exist?
I believe aliens exist. I don't believe that there's a government agency that has evidence that they've come to the Earth and we have all this like pictures and stuff like that. But you do. Explain why. Explain why. And then we'll wrap
There's
it up.
that. Dude, this is not my expertise.
I just fucking won. Hold on.
Dude, there's eyewitnesses who say they've been probed.
He's eyewitnesses.
Yeah.
I fucking witnesses.
There's eyewitnesses.
He's facing it by, look at him. Dude, you're fucking.
Dude, what about Roswell?
You're doing this on the fuck. Did you see his body language? You're like, there's eyewitnesses. I'm trying to polish the wood with my
too many
hand.
vitamins, dude.
Oh, dude, I
can't.
Now he's blaming on
We're doing
vitamins.
this today. I took too many vitamins.
He's blaming on vitamins slash speed. This is fucking nuts.
I love it.
I
'cause
just
it's
want-
natural.
I
I
just
just
want
feel
the
gacked out.
Dude, let's get a UFO. This episode is going to go on Patreon and public. Let's
Dude, I know a
Let's get
director who will cut.
I want a UFO motherfucker. I want the biggest UFO guy.
7 String Samurai.
No.
Can you look it up?
Yes.
It's either 7 String or 8 String Samurai.
Yeah, I know it.
The director of that movie is a huge UFO guy.
I can't wait to get a director who does movies about UFOs.
Hold on, you just gave us a sad story about booking a show, and you were like, and that's great, but a guy who actually has created movies and is a director is
I'm
suddenly
not saying
like
he's not a great guy. I'm not saying
Craigslist.
I'm not saying he's not a great guy. I like he makes movies. Now he's going to teach me about UFOs. Bring him. Fucking bring him so I
right,
can
dude. I will get this guy on.
We'll get him on.
I'll get him on.
He'll sit right there.
6 String Samurai by Lance Munguia.
Sure.
What?
I see 6 String, not so.
Yeah.
Lance
yeah.
Munguia.
Oh, I
He's
saw
the
eight
nicest guy. Lance is a great dude. He's been on my show a couple times.
All right. Bring him on. We'll talk UFO.
You know what's so funny about this, Brian?
What?
It's for the first time, the conspiracy group was probably more on your side than me because they all believe in Project Bluebeam. Will you look up Project Bluebeam?
Mm-hmm.
Please, Chin. See, I say please. You just yell at him.
Project Bluebeam.
Yeah.
Bring it up. Bring it in.
Bring it up. Bring it in. Let me begin.
Bring it up and bring it in.
Project Bluebeam.
How long have we been talking for a while? We've been talking for a while. This
Hour 13.
All right, man. We're good.
By the way, while he's looking this up, you come see me, Miami, Florida. Improv, February 4, 5, and 6. I'll be at the Miami Improv. Get your tickets, BryanCallen.com. Or I think there are links on my Instagram. Or then I'm at Zany's in Nashville, February 11, 12, and 13. Come see me then. All right.
That's it? That's the end?
No, we're not
Love
done.
it.
We're not
You want to
done.
hear
Hold
the
on.
thingy?
Let me hear about Project Bluebeam.
It's a very long, so I'll just read a couple sentences. Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory that claims that NASA is in cooperation with other powerful forces, is attempting to implement a new age religion with the Antichrist at its head.
Okay, that's going a little hard.
Look at me, I just fell asleep.
Let me tell you, Project Bluebeam is the belief that powers that be are going to push a fake alien attack to bring the world together under a one world government. That's what they believe.
I like it. I want you to listen to that podcast that Eric Weinstein did. It's from a podcast called The Realignment, and I sent it to you.
Yes, you did.
And I think it's really, really good because
Was it
he
talk
talks
about?
well, he talks about the difference between Wokeistan and Magistan, and how two cults are fighting it out. But well, no, it's not that they're both cults in their own way, but they have elements of truth in them and then a bunch of bullshit in the middle. But he said that while those two groups are fighting, the kleptocrats in power are looting the museum, right? It's a really cool way to think. But I would recommend it because I think you'd like it.
Please tell me what the Q people have done wrong.
It's called Eric
Please tell
Weinstein,
me.
Reckoning
Please
with
tell me.
Capital, Chaos, and How to
Please
Save.
tell me.
Hold on.
No, dude, okay, I don't need you to start liking Instagram models on Instagram.
No, it's hold on. Let me see if I don't know why I can't find. Hold on. Here's the description. Anyway, it's called The Realignment, and it's Eric Weinstein, and it's fucking great. How Capital Chaos and How to Save America.
By the way, Capital Chaos is a great name for a political podcast.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
You should do it.
Yeah, it is.
It's just like, we believe in politicians, and that's your whole show, as you sing show tunes about how politicians are basically good people.
I don't believe that at all anymore. I used to think that people were way nicer than they are, but ambitious people are always disappointing. Listen, come see me, Florida, once again, Miami Improv, February 4, 5, and 6. Zany's, Nashville, February 11, 12, 13. Get your tickets.
Oh, real quick.
Sam, where are you going to be?
Bigfoot is an interdimensional time traveler. I will be at I'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina, February 18th through the 20th. I'm starting to book again.
Where are you going to be at Raleigh?
Good Nights. My
I love Good
website's
Nights.
finally almost
I
done.
love Good Nights. I'm glad it's open. That's a great club. That's a great club. Go see Sam at Good Nights. February what?
February 18th through the 20th.
Awesome. All right,
Oh,
kids.
and then I'll figure out the date. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, I believe in April, so I gotta figure out those dates.
Love me some Phoenix. Go to Lux Cafe, my favorite place. All right, awesome. Thanks, kids. Thanks for listening.
People ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes.
Who and what is controlling everything and why? They practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. This realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell.
Chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. If Sam says the chicken and snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy. I'm winning.
You're losing. Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters.